Lucy, I posted about you on Facebook and everyone said, I love Lucy.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
We are at Shelburne Community School in Shelburne, and today we are going to meet Lucy Cooney. For over 2 decades, she's been a bus driver here in Shelburne.
I have pretty much had the same run all of those almost 21 years. That's the part that I really love about this job, is just watching my kids grow up.
She loves kids, she's got 10 of her own, and everyone you talk to says, I love Lucy.
Yes, everybody does love Lucy. Everyone in my family loves Lucy, and everyone in my family knows Lucy. And
we love Lucy. She is the best bus driver in the world.
I've known most of my kids either since they were babies, certainly since they started coming on the bus. I know some of them from preschool through 8th grade.
Well, Lucy's been my bus driver since kindergarten, and Breege, my older sister, also had her.
Probably one of the biggest constants ever, from kindergarten to 8th grade, and then with my sisters too.
Well, I did ride Lucy's bus from kindergarten through 8th grade, so since I was 5.
Lucy is, she's a real gem in this community. She is so much more than the bus driver for the students.
Everyone knows her, and she's connected to everyone. And
she's also working part-time here as a paraeducator, and she also volunteers helping to sew costumes for local theater productions.
It's our bus. He made it for me. I think he was in kindergarten. I'm not a miss. I'm not a Mrs., although I've been a Mrs., but I just like to be called by my name.
So nice to be around, and I would be always so excited to see her in the morning times. Like every day when I got on the bus, she would ask me how I was.
And I think it's so important. I think every kid needs boosters. You know, people who really believe in them.
She just makes an effort to do everything for everyone. Even as my siblings got older, we all do theater and stuff, she would make an effort to come to our shows.
She went to like every single one of my plays, and still does. She still does it.
Why do? I love my kids. I guess that's the main reason.
And to my oldest daughter, Leah, who is now 18 years old and just started college, I'm going to tear up here. I met Lucy when Leah went to get on the bus for kindergarten roundup. Lucy was so kind and so caring. And then she's also driven my younger daughter. Lucy's the only school bus driver we've ever known. Can you imagine how lucky that is and what a rare thing that is to have?
I really get to watch them grow up. I've had kids that I knew were struggling to learn to read, and then one day I see them walk out of their house with a book in their hand, and they're reading it as they walk to the bus, and you just want to celebrate those moments. I love seeing the milestones. I love the teeth falling out. I love, they'll get on, they'll tell you whose birthday it is in the family. They'll tell you about new pets. They'll tell you about sick grandparents. They'll just, whatever it is. I really feel like I know my kids. I know my families.
Bye guys, see you next week.
She's been like with our family for a while. I just think she's really like invested with the community.
Sometimes I was kind of late for the bus, and she would always wait. Some other bus drivers, if no one's outside, they just kind of keep on going.
Well, she's just the best. She cares so much, which is really evident in just how she treats people and how she remembers people too.
I'm almost 80. But it's so hard for me to imagine not doing this. I've worked with children since I was 12, was when I first started babysitting for 25 cents an hour. I started having children before I was 20. I was 19 when my first daughter was born. And I adopted my last child when I was in my late 40s. I have 15 grandchildren.
You love kids.
Yes, I do. I do. It's good. It's all good.
Extraordinary times. You know, I've never experienced this in my lifetime. I'm guessing you haven't either.
Polio, and I remember that as a real threat. I went to a camp where a child died, a counselor died, and another one was left in an iron lung. But certainly the nuclear war threat was enormous when I was a kid. I remember the drills of going and, hiding under desks, having to wear dog tags. In those senses, I can sort of relate to what's happening now. The thing that's very different is how isolated children were in the spring. They were just missing their friends and teachers and just their routine.
When the kids went home due to the worldwide pandemic,
Emma, my granddaughter, and I covered the car, pretty much all of it, with yellow contact paper. And then I just drove my bus route and would stop at each family's door and toot.
We chatted for a super long time. It was so sweet.
Partly it was just I was missing everybody. First week of school, they talked about it on the bus. It's all I heard was, I love school. I love being back. I love seeing my friends. I'm so happy. Even though I was very worried about schools reopening, I knew, and it's one of the reasons I came back, how much children need to be with children.
And we got a small
crowd.
this bus that has a capacity for 90 kids now carries between 13 to 17 students.
We take the kids' temperatures in the morning before they come to school. We don't take them when they go home. Children in the same family can ride together, but every other child has their own seat, is separated by at least 6 feet. I take attendance every morning and every afternoon so I know who was on the bus. Is Gus here yet? No?
I'm going to school in the car now, but yeah, it's a little different. Just like the masks kind of are a little annoying.
It's not really painful, it's just like dreadful.
I remember what it was like to be a kid. When kids know they're safe, it's a whole different ballgame for them. And there are kids whose lives aren't always safe. It's important to be sort of mindful of that. I grew up on a block in New York that was really like growing up in a small town. And I moved out of the city at 19 when I married and moved to Vermont. Just the scenery, the landscape, I think is the thing that I loved about it at first. I like the connections that I feel people have here. I like the fact that politicians seem accessible. I can't ever imagine retiring someplace hot. I just like it here. I like seasons.
I'm super lucky to have her as our neighborhood bus driver.
When I grow up, I want to be Lucy Cooney.
I try to think about someday I'm going to have to retire, but I can't imagine it.
Hi, Lucy. Bye, sweetheart. Have a good weekend. I will see you next Thursday. Bye, Trace. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, Lucy. You're an inspiration to all of us, and we will get stuck in Vermont with you again real soon.
Occasionally, sometimes people move and I'll say, did I give permission for this? I don't remember being consulted.
That's what they're gonna say. If you ever try to retire, they'll be like, no.
Are you 78? Am I allowed to ask
Yes, oh sure, yes. Any child in this building can tell you Lucy is 78.